So Dana, we're just waiting on.
Okay. Do I just stay here then?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And here we are. Hello, my name is Paul Jacques. I'm the head of the theater department at Crafton Hills College. We are honored to have with us our playwright, Dana Hammer, right here, and we are going to be presenting The Devil's Buddy. So without further ado, we will present the play. That'll be a short intermission between Act 1 and Act 2, and then we'll have a talk back session after we are done. So, this.
The Devil's Buddy, Act 1, Scene 1. The street outside Rosewood's Women Health Center. A crowd is gathered. They are pro-life protesters holding a variety of signs. They chant. Hank, a young homeless man, sits against a wall, apart from the action. A violin propped next to him. He has a bowl in front of him to collect change. He watches the protesters silently. He is very thin and sickly looking, with hollows under his eyes. Nick and a young woman come on stage. Nick is extremely handsome and well-dressed in designer jeans and a leather jacket. He and the young woman are headed for the clinic door. The crowd goes nuts, shouting and grabbing at the young woman.
Hey, why don't you all back off?
Why don't you grow up and take care of your responsibilities?
This young lady here is going through a hard enough time without you people harassing her. Now get the fuck out of here.
Nick grabs a gun from his leather jacket and aims it at the crowd.
I said, get the fuck out of here before I lose my goddamn temper. It's okay. They're gone. You don't have to worry about them anymore.
Thanks. This would have been a lot worse without you escorting me.
Don't mention it. Just trying to make the world a better place.
The young woman hugs Nick and walks into the building. It's finally quiet, and Hank can play his violin. He picks it up and begins a lovely song. A teenage boy walks by. He watches Hank play for a bit. Then he snatches Hank's violin, running off stage, while Hank jumps to his feet.
Hey, get back here! Hey!
He tries to run, but he is barefoot and his feet have sores on them, and he badly limps.
Shit.
Nick comes back on stage holding Hank's violin.
I believe this belongs to you.
Hey, thanks, man.
Don't mention it. I can't stand people like that. Bullies, you know?
I know.
I guess in your line of work, you run into a lot of them.
My line of work?
Street musician.
That's a nice way to say bum.
I don't like that word. You're providing a valuable service, bringing beauty and art into the world. Where you sleep at night has nothing to do with it.
I like the way you think.
And I like the way you play violin for the world.
Thanks. Hey, aren't you that guy that pulled a gun on those protesters like 5 minutes ago?
Guilty.
Wow. That was a bold move.
I'm a bold man. Also, I truly believe in the cause.
Abortion?
That women should have the option to choose an abortion? Yes. That's why I volunteer as an escort. You know that girl I let in today? Her boyfriend's abusive. Beats the shit out of her. She's been trying to leave him, but he stalks her, threatens her, won't leave her alone.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
Exactly. So what is she supposed to do? She can't have the baby. It'd given him an excuse to stay in her life forever, and she can't give it up for adoption. If he finds out she's pregnant, let's just say he'd never allow her to give it up alive.
Well, I think it's really cool how you helped her like that, man. I'm Hank, by the way.
Hi, Hank. I go by lots of names, but you can call me Nick.
What do you mean you go by lots of names? Are you a con artist or something?
Oh no, I'm the devil.
I'm sorry?
I'm the devil.
Right.
No, really, I am.
If you say so.
Yeah, no one ever believes me at first. It's cool.
So, when you say you're the devil, do you mean you're like the actual literal devil or just like a bad guy?
See, that right there is pretty offensive. Everyone just assumes that devil means really evil when nothing could be further from the truth.
You're saying that being the devil isn't the same thing as being evil?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Isn't that like the definition of evil though? Being the devil isn't evil kind of his thing?
I love how you keep talking about the devil in the abstract. Like he's not here in front of you.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're the devil and you're not evil.
Correct.
So what do you do then?
Oh, this and that. Mostly I just try to fight tyranny and fix this shitty world that God half-assed into existence.
I don't know if you're crazy or just messing with me or what, but this is the best conversation I've had in a long time, so thanks for that anyway.
You still don't believe me.
Well, not really, no.
I can prove it, you know.
I'm listening.
Watch this.
The teenager who stole Hank's violin rushes on stage. He's now on fire.
What's that?
The douchebag who stole your violin? Yep.
He was on fire.
Like I said, I hate bullies.
You set him on fire.
Yes. Yes, I did.
I don't feel great about that.
I do.
I'm gonna go get some help.
Hank, sit down. Don't worry. He's got a phone. All the kids do these days. He'll call for help, or someone else will, or, he'll die. But don't stress, okay? Besides, you won't get far on those fucked up feet, will you?
They are pretty fucked up.
I know. Kind of gross.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I was saying, I'm the devil, and I'm not evil. I would argue that I'm a force for good on the planet.
You just set someone on fire.
Hank, here's the thing. That kid who I just set on fire, he stole your violin, yeah? That was a shitty thing to do, but that only scratches the surface of the evil that kid's capable of. Did you know that he beats the family dog?
What?
Yep, kicks the shit out of the little guy. And he tortures his little sister. Not the usual big brother type of stuff either. Really sick shit you don't want to know. Trust me. I just did the world an enormous favor. Really.
How can you know all that about him? Are you like God or Santa? Do you watch us all the time?
No, nothing so exciting, I'm afraid. I live next door to that little shit. At least temporarily, until I move on to the next place.
So you don't have omniscience, but you can set people on fire. What else can you do?
Well, different things. I can control fire, as you saw, and ice. And I rule over hell, obviously.
Obviously.
I can summon snakes.
Really? Can you show me? Actually, don't. I don't like snakes.
Fair enough. But Let me know if you change your mind. It's pretty badass, though I do say so myself. Though it doesn't come in as handy as you might think. There aren't many situations that desperately call for a snake.
Is that all then?
No, I can do lots of stuff, just not on a large scale. I mean, I can't like move a mountain or anything like that, but small stuff. Like for instance, if you wanted some money from that taco stand over there, I could lift some money out of the cash register and sail it over to you.
Would you do that?
Of course not. What's the matter with you? Those taco makers work hard for their money. I'm not going to steal it from them. I'm just saying, I could, if I wanted to.
Huh.
And I'm very persuasive.
Well, you'd have to be, right?
Why do you say that?
Well, you'd have to be pretty persuasive to get people to sell their souls to you.
See, that's more ignorant talk. I don't want your souls. I don't give a shit about your souls.
You don't?
No. What I want is your service.
I see.
No, you don't. But you will.
What do you mean, I will?
Hank, I've been working at this for a long time, trying to fix this nightmare God is making you all endure. But the thing is, after I got kicked out of heaven, my powers became limited. That's why I need helpers. Helpers like you.
You want me to help you?
Yes.
I'm not gonna help the devil. I'm pretty sure that's a one-way ticket to hell.
Would that be so bad?
Yes!
Then you know nothing about hell.
I know enough.
I'm guessing you've bought all that propaganda about it being a fiery pit of torment where demons poke you with sharp things and you scream for all eternity and yada, yada, yada.
Kinda, yeah.
That is not what hell is like at all.
Well, then what's it like?
All the best people are there, Hank. Christopher Hitchens, Voltaire, the Marquise de Sade, Margaret Sanger, every atheist, every freethinker, every rock and roll star, every iconoclast, every comedian, and every advocate for sexual liberation. They're all chilling out in hell, where I can assure you they are not being tormented.
Well, what happens to them there?
Whatever, I guess. It's not much different from Earth, really, except for the absence of God.
So it's just like Earth, but with no God?
Yep. Which means it's basically Earth, since God can't really be bothered to do much down here, can he?
I don't know. Isn't he like responsible for all of this?
He created the world badly, I might add, and then just left you all here, refusing to talk to you directly, refusing to answer your prayers, refusing to do anything but watch you and judge you and send you to hell for what are, frankly, idiotic reasons.
It's not idiotic to send people to hell for being evil.
And what's evil, Hank? Eating shellfish, being gay, doing yoga?
No, but stuff like raping and murdering and stealing, stuff that hurts other people.
Oh, is that evil, Hank? Because you know what I think? If that stuff was evil, then why did God create you with those urges, huh? Why did he make humans so full of violence and lust and jealousy if he was going to punish you for acting on those feelings?
Do you think we should all just run around acting on our worst impulses?
No. I think God shouldn't have given you those impulses in the first place.
Well, I guess it's to teach us a lesson about self-restraint.
And how's that working out down here? A lot of self-restraint going on that I'm not seeing? Because to me, it looks like everyone's indulging in something all the time.
I guess we all just have to do our best, man. I mean, there's no other way.
See, that's where you're wrong. You think God, the almighty God who created all of this, couldn't fix the terrible urges he imbued you all with? Of course he could. He could do it instantly. Boom. The hearts of man are forever changed. But he chooses not to.
But why?
Because, Hank, God is a bully.
He's not a bully.
You're just saying that because you've been programmed to think that way about God. But trust me when I tell you, he is absolutely a bully. Dude, have you ever read the Bible?
Parts of it.
Well, give it a read, because you'll see that I'm right. God is a bully, An egomaniacal, capricious, mercurial bully who tortures you all and expects you to sing his praises for it. It's bullshit is what it is.
I don't know, Nick. What you're saying, it pretty much sounds like exactly what you'd expect the devil to say about God.
Yeah, I guess it is. But it's not wrong. I mean, take you, for example. Track marks. You've got a bit of a drug problem, yeah? No need to be embarrassed. I've seen much worse. My point is, if God hadn't programmed you to seek out the kinds of stimulation and chemicals that heroin provides you, you wouldn't be addicted to this shit. Who knows what your life could be like?
My problems aren't God's fault. They're mine. I've made a lot of mistakes.
I'm sure you have, but why were you ever put in those situations where you were able to make those mistakes, Hank? Why didn't God take you out of that abusive home? Why didn't he stop you from using? Why did he let you drop out of music school?
Because we all have free will. And how do you know all that about me? You said you were omniscient.
It doesn't take omniscience. You're a heroin user living on the streets. I assume your home life wasn't great. You play the violin beautifully. I've heard you playing out here lots of times. You've obviously had training. And I've been around a while. I know people. There are no new stories. And by the way, you don't have free will. Or rather, you have some free will, but you also have a shitload of biological programming that it's damn near impossible for you to ignore. And God is the one responsible for that programming.
I guess you have a point.
You're damn skippy, I have a point. And now that we have that foundation to build on, I'd like to offer you a proposal.
What?
I have a project I'm working on. You know City Hall? The Rosewood City Hall has put up 2 giant-ass sculptures with the 10 Commandments on them. I want you to help me take them down.
Why?
Separation of church and state, Hank. Why else? The United States is a secular nation, and the government cannot legally promote one religious code over another.
Are you sure it's not just because you're, the devil?
Well, there's that too, but honestly, I think we can all agree that separation of church and state is imperative for a functioning modern society.
I do agree with that, actually.
Good. So here's what I need you to do. I'm going to knock down the statues, and you're going to go to City Hall and say that they fell down on you and injured you. You're going to say that they're unsafe, okay?
But I'm not injured.
You will be.
How?
I'm going to push the stones on top of you.
No!
Hank, it's the best way. I do it myself, but I'm not allowed in City Hall.
Why not?
There was some unpleasantness. My point is, you can be part of a noble plan, an instrument for good.
I don't want to get hurt.
It'll only be temporary. And to sweeten the deal, I'll make sure you get treatment for your hepatitis C.
What?
Your hepatitis C. You're infected, right? I mean, it's pretty common with IV drug users, and I've been around long enough to know when someone's sick with it. I'm practically a doctor. You've got jaundice, and you're not feeling so great, are you?
Those meds, they cost a lot of money.
You let me worry about that.
I don't know.
I do. Look, let me knock the stone tablets onto you. Then you'll go to the hospital where your treatment will be paid for by me. Then you go to the city council and tell them all about how you were minding your own business when those pesky stones fell down onto you and landed you in the hospital. If you do all that, I promise you, you'll get the treatment you need.
How can I trust you? You're the devil.
Do you have anything to lose?
My soul.
I'm not asking for your soul. I'm asking for you to do your patriotic duty and stand up for the separation of church and state. Now, can you do this?
You know what? Why the fuck not?
That's the spirit. Now, come with me.
Where are we going?
To get you some shoes, dipshit.
You don't have to do that.
No, but I'm doing it. We're friends now, and friends don't let friends walk around the city barefoot like goddamn cavemen.
Wow. Thanks.
I'm really glad we met, Hank. I can tell this is the start of a beautiful friendship. Now, first, shoes. Second, knocking over government-funded religious statues. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Scene 2. The hospital. Hank is on a stretcher in the hospital, his foot in a cast. Nick enters, holding some flowers.
Hey, Hank. How's it going?
Thanks so much for the flowers. That was nice of you. The thing is, though, I'm allergic.
Oh, sorry.
Nick snaps his fingers and the flowers disappear.
How are you? Other than that, allergic to one of the only things God did right.
My toes are broken, so, great.
Yeah, the human body sucks ass. Seriously, I don't know how you deal with it.
You're in a human body now.
Yeah, but only temporarily. I can go back to my normal form anytime I want.
Really? Can I see?
Yeah. I don't think you want to see that.
No, I really do.
I'll tell you what. After we get to know each other a little better, I'll show you. But right now, it's too soon. Don't want to freak you out.
Is it that bad?
Bad? No. But let's just say it's different than what you're thinking.
So, this body you have now, can you change it? Can you make yourself look different?
Nope. This is my human form. Never changes. I don't know why. But whenever I turn human, I always wind up looking like this. I've tried changing races, genders, ages, but nope. Always this.
Weird.
Yeah.
If you don't like being a human, then why do it? Why not stay in your real form all the time?
My real form is unsettling to humans. If I'm going to change the world and make a difference, I need to fit in.
That makes sense.
I'm glad you think so.
But, the human body isn't all that bad. I mean, yeah, it's breakable, but overall, it's pretty good.
Are you serious?
Sure, I'm serious.
The human body is utter, complete garbage, Hank.
That's sort of insulting.
I don't mean to insult you, but it's a very badly engineered piece of equipment. I mean, yes, it's breakable, but that's only the start.
What do you mean?
Okay. Think about eyeballs.
Eyeballs are awesome.
Are they? Think about how easy they are to squish and hurt. Think about how many people need glasses and LASIK eye surgery. Why do eyes wear out so easily, and why are there only two in the front of your body?
You have a point.
And how come when you get a bug bite or a rash, all you want to do is scratch it, even though that's the worst thing you can do in that situation? What kind of amateur design move is that?
That does suck. But I don't know if that means the human body is garbage.
I do. Also, think about female anatomy. Why are the vagina and urethra right next to the asshole? That's not a good place for them. Do you know how much suffering UTIs cause women? And all because God couldn't be bothered to put the urethra in a more sensible place?
Yeah, I guess that does suck for girls.
And don't get me started on teeth.
I won't.
Okay, I'm already started. Why do teeth rot so easily? Seriously, God planted these things in your head that you have to take care of religiously or they rot? And it's not like he created toothbrushes to go with them or made them self-cleaning. No, you all had to just figure that shit out. Until then, everyone just lost their teeth all the goddamn time. Even now, people's teeth just rot. Couldn't teeth be made out of stronger stuff?
I guess.
The human body is a dumpster fire, and God should be shamed of himself for shoddy workmanship.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Speaking of defective bodies, here's your meds. Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Oh my God. I can't believe you actually did it.
I keep my promises, Hank.
I guess you do, but how? This shit is really expensive.
I have resources. You know, being the devil and all.
I can't believe it.
Well, believe it, motherfucker. Also, I got you this. Methadone. I got some from the clinic. Figured you need something to get you through until they release you.
Oh my god. Thank you so much, Nick. You're a good friend.
Damn skiffy I am. And as a good friend, I feel it's my duty to tell you, you need to get off the heroin, dude.
Yeah, if it were that easy, I'd have done that a long time ago.
So, do you want to get off the heroin?
Of course, no one chooses to live like this.
Good to know. Anyway, I'll be back to check on you in a bit. I've got some stuff to do.
Okay. Nick, thank you. I really can't thank you enough.
It's the least I can do. Especially since,
What?
well, the thing is,
What?
as it turns out, the city council isn't even going to try to put the statues back up. As it turns out, the cost of repairs isn't in the budget.
Oh, well, that's good news, right?
Yeah, but it means I didn't really need to hurt you. You don't need to talk to the city council at all or threaten to sue or any of that. It was enough that I just knocked the statues over.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, I'm here with broken toes for no reason.
Yeah,
Well, that sucks.
I know. And I'm going to make it up to you. I swear. The point is, you did a good thing and you selflessly sacrificed your garbage body for a good cause. You're a good friend and I take care of my friends.
Well, I guess you did get me these meds and this methadone. So even though you broke my toes, I guess we're even.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
I've got some more stuff planned. Exciting stuff. We'll talk, all right?
All right.
But here, let me fix the heat first.
Wow. Thanks, Nick.
Scene 3. The street outside Father Jim's house. A priest, Father Jim, is outside his house, sitting in a rocking chair, reading the Bible. He's old.
Hello there, boys.
Hello, Father Jim.
Hi.
Lovely weather we're having today, isn't it?
It sure is, Father.
Yep.
God smiling down on us, sharing his blessings.
You can say that again.
We missed you at Mass on Sunday, Nick. Is everything all right?
It sure is, Father. I'm sorry about that. My friend here got himself hurt, so I had to take him to the hospital.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sure God forgives you, since you were missing Mass in service of someone in need.
Thank you, Father. I hope so.
I hope your foot feels better, young man.
Oh, yeah. It's on the mend. I should be out of this thing in a couple weeks.
Glad to hear it. You boys have a nice day. God bless.
You too, Father.
You go to church?
Yes, I do.
Don't you like burn up or something in there?
That's all just superstition, Hank. I actually like Catholic churches quite a bit. The stained glass, the incense, the ritual. If it wasn't for the whole worshiping God business, church would be wonderful.
So you go because you like the aesthetics?
No. I go because I'm stalking Father Jim.
What?
Yep. I'm going to take that fucker down. And you're going to help me.
What?
Are you surprised, or can you actually not hear me?
Surprised. Why would you want to take him down?
Why do you think?
Because he's a man of God?
No, because he's a sick child rapist.
God, he's one of those?
Yep. 3 men have come forward saying that he raped them when they were altar boys back in the 70s. The thing is, the statute of limitations has passed, so he can't be brought up on charges.
Shit.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to accuse him of molesting you, but recently. You're what, 20 years old?
19.
Good. That's great. So you're going to say he raped you 6 years ago when you were 13. That's still within the statute of limitations.
I'm not going to accuse him of something he didn't do.
But he did do it, just not to you.
How do I know he did it?
You think I'd lie to you?
You're the devil.
I thought we were past this, Hank. Where's the trust?
I don't mean to be insulting, and I know you've done a lot for me. Those meds, I haven't felt so good in ages. But what you're asking me to do, it's serious.
So is raping children.
Yeah, but I don't know. Isn't there some other way?
Well, I was just going to set his house on fire, but the thing is, that house is beautiful. It's really a work of art. What kind of man would I be if I destroyed something so magnificent?
You'd be the devil.
Was that a joke?
It's supposed to be.
Funny. Anyway, I figure this is a better way. If he dies in a fire, he gets remembered as a saintly old priest who was killed tragically. If he gets arrested, he gets sent to prison in disgrace, where rapists like him belong.
I don't know.
I do. Look, why don't I introduce you to one of his accusers? He doesn't live nearby. He left this town for obvious reasons. But we can go pay him a visit, and he'll tell you exactly how evil that old man is. Believe me, after you hear his story, you'll be begging for him to get arrested.
That might actually make me feel better about this whole thing.
All right. Consider it done. We'll drive to Kyle's house this afternoon. He lives about an hour out of town. We'll make it back by night, and I'll drop you off at... By the way, where do you sleep at night?
What?
When we hang out, you always have me drop you off at the same place outside the women's health clinic. That's not where you sleep though, right? Honestly, I'm not comfortable dropping you off there all the time. I worry.
I don't sleep there, no. If there's beds available, I sleep at the men's shelter on Low Street. If there are no beds available, I sleep in the park.
Well, that's fucked up. No more of that. Until you get on your feet, you're staying in my guest room.
I can't ask you to do that.
You didn't. I insisted on it.
I guess I can't say no to that. I haven't slept in a real house in over a year.
Wow, that's rough.
I guess.
Well, those days are over now, Hank. If we're going to be working together, I can't have you getting knifed by some psycho in an alley because you didn't have a safe place to sleep, am I right?
Thanks, man.
Don't mention it. But here's the thing. If you're going to stay at my house, no drugs.
I see.
Sorry. Them's the rules.
I understand. It's just not that easy.
But it can be.
What do you mean? Quitting heroin's like the hardest thing you can do. There's a reason people say it's like heroin when they mean something is super addictive and hard to stop.
That's because they have old-fashioned methods. I, on the other hand, have access to the latest and greatest of drug rehabilitation technology.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about nitrodine,
What's that?
an experimental drug that represses the brain receptors that react to opiates.
That's
Amazing, I know. And I just happen to have a contact in the pharmaceutical industry who owes me some favors. And of course, I have huge stashes of money to pay for it.
so you just get me this drug
Yep.
and I'd be cured?
Well, you'd still have an addictive personality. You'd have to be careful with substitute addictions like sex and gambling and chocolate cake. But yeah, if you tried to do heroin again, it would do nothing.
Wow.
The downside is if you ever need heavy painkillers for something non-recreational, they won't work.
Oh.
But You'd be free of addiction. You could get your life back.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be great?
that would be beyond great.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Now, hop in the car. Let's go see Kyle.
Scene 4. The street outside Kyle's house. Hank and Nick emerge from Kyle's house.
I know, buddy. I know.
Oh my god. That priest is one sick fuck.
I know.
How was he able to just sit on the porch reading the Bible? Why doesn't someone execute him?
I know.
I have never heard something so awful, so depraved.
I know.
We have to do something. We have to stop him.
What an excellent idea.
Sorry, I doubted you.
It's okay. You're right to question things. It's always a bad idea to believe something just because someone tells you to. Demand evidence and think rationally. That's my motto.
That's a good motto.
You know, unless I tell you something, then you can take it as gospel.
Is that a joke?
Mostly.
Okay. So what do we do now?
Well, we go to the police and fill out a report. You point out on the doll where the dirty old man touched you, and the rest will fall into place.
Okay, don't trials go on for a long time, though? And I mean, reporting him is just the start, right? And I don't know what to say. I mean, I never went to church. I don't know the guy. Won't they figure out I'm lying?
You just heard Kyle's story, Hank. Do you remember it?
I will never forget that as long as I live.
Perfect. So you know what to say then.
Gotcha. Okay, I can do that.
How's your stomach?
Better now.
Good. Let's get something to eat. You must be hungry after losing your lunch like that. What's funny?
Well, I never read the Bible much. I've never been what you call a religious guy, but I do remember the story about the devil, or you, I should say, tempting Jesus with food. And here you are tempting me with food.
I really hate that story.
Is it true?
Yes, it's true. Look, have you ever seen a person starving himself? Like really starving? Jesus hadn't eaten in days, weeks, I think. He looked like death on a stick. And why? Because he thought it would bring him closer to God or whatever. Ridiculous. So yeah, I offered him food and water. I offered food and drink to a starving man. And somehow I come out of the story looking like the asshole.
I never thought of it that way.
No one ever does.
You know, now that I think about it, I can't remember what you actually do in the Bible. I guess I haven't read it enough.
Don't. It's a waste of your time. Half of it contradicts the other half, and most of it's fucked up. Did you know that it advocates smashing babies against a wall to murder them?
What?
Yep, in Psalms. But only if they're enemy babies, of course.
That's disturbing.
It is. And to answer your question, properly read, I am actually the hero in the Bible, if you ask me.
Hero?
Yes, hero. Let's see. I tried to feed the starving. I tried to stop God from torturing Job, who was a perfectly nice guy, by the way. A bit of a goody two-shoes, but a very nice person. And I tried to give Adam and Eve knowledge, which is somehow a bad thing.
Yeah, I never really understood why giving them knowledge was such a terrible thing to do. I mean, does God want us to be ignorant?
Yes, he does. Ignorant people who don't ask questions will worship him unquestioningly. They won't ever demand that he answer for the shit that happens in the world. They won't ever complain when he refuses to answer their prayers. And they don't worry about God would put their urethra so close to the anus. They don't wonder, they don't question, and they don't care. They're easily ruled.
Damn, that's dark.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm bummed out now.
Me too. After we eat, let's go set some fracking equipment on fire.
Can we?
Of course we can.
Scene 5. Nick's house. Hank plays the violin and his foot is better now. Nick's house is clean and orderly, not at all satanic looking. There are 2 pet snakes in a tank. A stack of bills and such are on the table.
Mom? What are you doing here?
Asked around. Heard you were staying here.
Yeah, I've been here 3 weeks or so.
So, you're getting back on track, huh?
Yeah.
I saw about you in the news.
Oh?
Yeah. Apparently you got molested by a priest when you were 13, which is funny because we never took you to church. As far as I know, you've never been to church at all.
I can explain.
Darn it, Hank. Just when things can't get any worse with us, you go and break my heart all over again. What are you hoping to get out of all this? Are you going to sue the church, get a wad of cash, and shoot it up your arm?
No, it's not like that.
No? Because that's exactly what it seems like.
But it's not. Listen, that priest, Father Jim, he's a sick man. He raped kids back in the 70s and probably more since then. I talked to one of them, this guy Kyle. You would not believe the things that guy had to say.
But it didn't happen to you, did it?
That's not the point.
It's exactly the point. You're lying.
It's for a good cause.
What good cause? Keeping you riding the white horse or whatever they call it these days?
No, Mom. In fact, I'm clean now.
I've heard that one before.
No, I mean it. My friend, the guy I'm staying with, he's really helped me a lot. He got me access to this drug and it's supposed to.
Oh, I see. You're replacing one drug with another drug. And I'm supposed to be proud of you?
I'm not asking you to be proud of me. Damn it, Mom,
Don't you use bad language to me. You know what it took for me to send you to that fancy music school with no help from your dad or your dad's family or anybody? You know what I had to give up? How crappy my life was? Just so you could have that opportunity? You think I didn't want to pull some get-rich-quick scheme, some scam, find some way to make extra money so things wouldn't be so hard? But I didn't, because I'm a decent person and it's not worth it if I have to sacrifice my soul. I live with honor. I thought I taught you that.
You did, Mom.
Apparently I didn't.
Nick enters holding a bag.
Hey, Hank, guess what? Father Jim just got bailed out of jail and he hung himself in his closet as soon as he got home. I got us some ice cream to celebrate.
I'm not feeling too celebratory.
Why not? We succeeded.
My mom was just here.
So?
She knows I lied about the priest.
So?
So she's disappointed in me and angry?
So?
So I don't like how that makes me feel?
Okay. Let's have some ice cream and talk about it.
Nick fills 2 bowls with ice cream and hands one to Hank. They sit on the couch and eat.
So, the problem is you've disappointed your mom and that makes you feel bad. Is that all?
You say it like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal to me.
Okay. So we have to find some way for you to make her proud of you. Show her that you've turned your life around.
How am I supposed to do that?
Funny you should ask. I've got a plan.
Of course you do.
Indeed. So, you know that museum that just opened up in Rockford, the Rockford Center for Creation Studies?
I've heard of it.
We're gonna take it down.
You really like taking things down.
I really do.
Okay, so why? I mean, creationists are silly, but they're not hurting anybody. Just leave them be.
No, they're not harmless. They're propagating idiocy. Their anti-science stance is a major problem for society. Anti-science propaganda is responsible for the worsening of global warming, the resurgence of measles, all kinds of awful things. And you know, this museum donates a portion of their profits to anti-gay organizations. They are actively making the world a worse, dirtier, more dangerous, less tolerant place.
Okay, then what's your plan?
Well, funny you should ask. I've got some other guys I'd like you to meet, Luke and Max. They're a couple of young gentlemen like yourself who are looking to make the world better through acts of sabotage and bravery. We'll all discuss it together at the meeting. It'll be fun.
Sounds all right, I guess, but I'm not sure how this is supposed to help with my mom situation.
Because you're going to get a job, become a stable, functioning member of society.
How?
You'll see. Ah, speak of the devil.
Really?
I'm sorry. That was not a good joke.
You're better than that, Nick.
I'm sorry.
Get the door?
Yeah, let's.
Nick answers the door, and Luke and Max come in. They are around Hank's age, but dressed in like Satanists, all in black.
Hail Satan.
Oh, come on, guys. You don't have to do that. Get up. Come on in. We're just having some ice cream.
If it pleases the Dark Lord.
Guys, this is Hank. He's going to be helping us with Operation Monkey Spawn. Hank, this is Max and Luke.
Operation Monkey Spawn?
Yeah, because of evolution. Get it?
Oh, okay, right.
We are pleased to have you join our mission, Hank.
Thanks, but I'm still unclear what that mission is.
Well, it's simple, really. You all are going to be employees at the Rockford Center for Creation Studies, and you're going to destroy it from the inside.
How?
Well, it's a many-pronged attack. Max here works in the gift shop. He defaces and destroys some of the more problematic merchandise. Also, he steals from the till. And Luke here is a docent. He makes sure to give his own spin on the information put forth on his tours. Of course, they both gather intel on the board of directors. Once we have enough dirt, we'll use that dirt to blackmail them into shutting the whole place down.
Huzzah.
Okay, so where do I fit in?
Well, Luke and Max here will put in a good word for you. They're hiring a ticket salesperson. We think you'd be perfect for the job.
What do you want me to do?
Same as these boys. Gather information. Commit extra sabotage wherever you can.
Guess I can do that.
Good. Max, Luke, can you talk to the hiring manager? Get him to see Hank?
Yes, Master.
Really? Enough with the master stuff. It's not necessary.
As you say, Master. Sir.
Thank you for the ice cream, Satan.
It's my pleasure, Luke. Now, get out of here. We'll meet again next week for a progress report.
Max stand and bow, and then they politely take their bowls and put them on the table, stacked neatly.
They seem nice.
They are. They're good guys. A little intense with the Satanism, but good guys.
Hank stands and accidentally spills his ice cream on his papers on the table.
Oh shit, sorry.
Hank and Nick grab the papers and wipe them off.
Hey, Nick, this is a very large check.
Yeah, like I said, I have access to money.
Yeah, but it's from a trust account.
Yeah, that's one of the places I keep my money.
I hope the check's not ruined.
It's sticky, but not ruined. Don't worry about it.
Do you mind if I ask where you get all your money?
Here and there, you know how it is.
Till recently, I was homeless. I think I can safely say I don't know how it is. At all.
Fair enough. I make investments. I do some embezzlement, some blackmail. You know, I get by. There are a lot of very rich, very bad people in the world who need to pay what they owe. I'm just doing my part to relieve them of their burden.
See,
Why the interest in money anyway?
I don't know. I guess I feel bad taking from you and not paying you back. Once I get this job, I'll start pitching in for rent and groceries and all of that.
You don't need to. Really, I'm doing quite well.
It'd make me feel better.
Well, if it'll make you feel better.
It would.
You know, most people wouldn't worry about paying the devil for their share of rent. You're a good guy, Hank.
Thanks, Nick. You're a good guy too. Even though you're Satan.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
End of Act 1.
Okay, we are going to take a 10-minute intermission. Then we will come back at 7 o'clock for Act 2. Give the actors a chance to get some water and recuperate. So see you in 10 minutes. Hello, everyone. It is now 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead with part 2. As a reminder, following the play, immediately following, we'll have a talk back session with playwright Dana Hammer. And now Act 2 of The Devil's Buddy. Thanks.
Act 2, Scene 1. The Rockford Center for Creation Studies ticket desk. Hank and Josephine stand behind the ticket desk. Josephine is the same age as Hank and very pretty in a conservative, wholesome way.
You'll want to greet everyone who comes to buy a ticket. So I say, hello, I'm Josephine. Welcome to the Rockford Center for Creation Studies. How can I help you? Then you just ring up their tickets, however many they need. If they have annual passes, you just scan them here and their picture should pop up on the screen and you can look to make sure they match.
Do a lot of people try to sneak into a creationist museum?
You'd be surprised.
It seems like a lot of people who are interested in biblical interpretations of things would probably be against stealing admission.
You'd think that, but no. Also, not everyone who comes here is doing it because they're believers.
No?
No. Lots of times it's college kids who think it's funny to get their pictures taken with the dinosaurs and the cavemen, stuff like that.
I see.
You get used to it. Not everyone understands our mission here. You should know, people will probably make fun of you for working here.
Do they make fun of you?
Not for long. So, Hank, what did you do before you came here to work?
Oh, well, I played violin, I guess.
Really? I play the violin.
You do?
Yeah, since I was 7. We're a real musical family.
That's cool. I was one of the only people who played in mine. Would have been nice to have other people to play with.
Well, who do you play with now? Are you with a symphony or school orchestra or something?
Well, I was at Big Valley School of Music, but I'm taking some time off.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to go to that school so bad.
Why didn't you?
My parents wouldn't let me. They don't like the secular nature of the programs there. Besides, it costs a lot of money, and they said it's more important to send my brother to medical school. They say we'll need a doctor in the family when the government decides to use germ warfare on the Christians.
Wow.
It's okay, though. I got this job here, and it's all right. Gets me out of the house. I earn a little money, and I can still play the violin at home, just for myself.
What are the bosses like? I mean, I met Jerry, the manager. He seems okay, but I haven't really met anyone else.
They're all very devout.
I would imagine so.
We all are here, of course.
Of course. Anything else I should know about them?
Not really.
Come on, give me all the dirt.
You're terrible.
I am.
But if you want to see something scandalous, open that box down there.
This box? What's in it?
I can't describe it in words. Open it. See for yourself. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh, I've been waiting to do that prank on someone for ages. Oh, your face.
You're a prankster.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm the worst. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Really, I'm sorry. I just can't help myself sometimes.
It's really okay. You're adorable.
Really?
Really?
Well, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
Oh, you didn't. Quite the opposite, actually.
Good.
Well, I gotta get to lunch. I've got leftover pot roast in the fridge, and if I don't eat it soon, that Max guy will steal it. Watch out for him, by the way. He steals food.
Noted. Well, enjoy. I haven't had pot roast in ages, not since I left home. I live off frozen foods and takeout.
You don't have home cooking anymore? At all?
Nope, I live with my roommate. Neither of us is much of a cook.
Well, that is unacceptable.
It's fine. I actually really enjoy preservatives. I'll probably live forever.
No, you'll die sooner. That garbage is all engineered by the government. You know that, right? It's made to make you sick, so you have to give your money to big pharmacies.
Well, I don't know about that.
I do, and I insist that you come to my house for dinner tonight.
Your house? Don't you live with your parents? I wouldn't want to impose.
Don't be silly. My parents love having company. Just meet up with me out front when your shift's over. You're coming to my house for lasagna.
Well, that actually sounds delicious.
I know, right? Okay, I gotta go before Max gets to my lunch. Bye.
Bye.
Scene 2. Josephine's house. The house is tidy, warm, and cozy. There's a dining table set up, a couch, and a large cross on the wall. There's a shelf with 3 books on it, one of which is a large scrapbook. Josephine's dad, Baxter, sits on the couch flipping through the Weekly Standard. He is neatly dressed. Josephine's mom, Lily, enters carrying a baking dish.
That smells delicious, honey. Need some help?
No, don't worry. I got it. But guess what?
What?
Josephine's bringing a boy home.
What? What boy?
I don't know. Some boy from work. She says he's in need of some home cooking.
Need of some home cooking, huh?
That's what she said.
Doesn't he have a family?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what she told me.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Hello, sweetie.
Hank, this is my mom, Lily, and my dad, Baxter. Guys, this is Hank.
I call them by their first names.
Yeah, we're not fussy about stuff like that.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Now, Hank, Josephine says you work with her at the Rockford Center for Creation Studies. Is that so?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. You must be a man of character and moral fiber. Takes a lot of guts to maintain a biblically informed worldview in these satanic times.
Well, yeah, I try to be a good person.
Excellent.
Josephine, honey, can you help me in the kitchen? Let's let the boys talk.
Okay, Mom.
So, Hank, tell me about yourself. Are you from around here?
Yes.
What sort of education do you have?
Well, I finished high school. I started at Big Valley School of Music, but I decided to take some time off.
And why's that?
Well, sir, I didn't very much care for the secular nature of some of the programs.
Indeed, son, indeed. These modern colleges are hotbeds for fornication, drug abuse, satanic music, and every vice imaginable. You did the right thing, leaving with your soul intact.
Thank you, sir.
Here, let me show you something.
Baxter gets up and grabs a large scrapbook from the shelf. He brings it to Hank and sits back down beside him. He opens the page.
Wow. Look at that.
Do you know what it is?
I'm sorry, sir, I don't.
Seaweed.
Seaweed?
Seaweed? I press the various kinds of seaweed that grow in this region and make notes of it. See?
I see.
Do you know why?
I don't know. It seems like a neat hobby, I guess.
It is a neat hobby, Hank, but it's much more than that. Did you know that a human can have a nutritionally complete diet entirely from the sea?
I did not know that.
Well, it's true. Seaweed combined with fish will give you all the nutrients you need to survive should you ever be forced to leave the mainland and take to the sea.
That is good to know.
Yes, it is, son. Do you know how many types of chemical weapons our government has developed? The germ warfare they have access to?
I imagine it's a lot.
You're darn tootin' it's a lot. And when that happens, you need to have a plan.
Of course.
Our plan is to hop aboard our ship and live on the ocean. At least until things settle down. God in his infinite wisdom has given us the ability to do this and to thrive in this bounty.
Wow. That is a really great plan, sir.
Thank you, son. You know, you should make your own plan. A healthy young boy like you'll need a strategy in place, especially if you plan to start a family of your own one day.
That's a very good point. I'll have to give it some serious thought.
You do that, son. You do that.
Josephine enters carrying another dish.
Dad, not the scrapbook.
Why not, young lady? Your friend here needs to know these things. If he's gonna be courting you.
Dad! We're not. I mean,
You're absolutely right, sir. If I intend to court Josephine, I need to be the sort of man who can handle emergencies.
well, okay then.
Dinner will be ready. Let's sit down.
The men sit at the table as the women bring in the rest of the meal. Everyone takes their seats and holds hands.
Thank you, God, for these gifts you have bestowed upon us, and for the hands that prepared it, and for the work that provided it. Thank you for bringing Hank here for dinner this evening. We can see that he is an honorable young man, and we are happy to get to know him. Amen.
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 They dish themselves up.
This is delicious.
Thank you, Hank. Josephine says you've been eating like a bachelor, all frozen foods and chips and things.
Afraid so. I'm not much of a cook.
Well, that's a shame. You know, Josephine here is an excellent cook.
Mom!
What? You are. She's also quite an accomplished violinist.
You mentioned she played the violin.
So does Hank.
Really?
Yep, since I was 7.
Same as Josephine. Isn't that something?
Maybe you two would like to give us a little recital, huh?
Well, I don't have my violin with me.
That's no problem. We could get Ernest's violin out of his room. We paid for lessons before he took it. About time that thing got some use.
Oh, this is so exciting! A recital!
You okay with that?
Of course. Sounds like fun.
What should we play?
You know Prokofiev?
Sonata for 2 violins?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Great minds.
Well, that was lovely, wasn't it, Baxter?
It sure was.
Baxter, why don't you come into the kitchen with me and help me clean up?
All right.
You're really good.
So were you.
I'm really sorry they made you play. And I'm sorry my dad made you look at a bunch of gross seaweed. He must think we're insane.
I think you're charming.
Really?
Really.
And I'm sorry about what my dad said about us courting. I know you didn't. I mean, we just met and I'm sorry. This is all super weird. I just wanted to feed you, and if I had known that they were going to act so weird, I'd...
He kisses Josephine. She kisses him back. Scene 3. Nick's house. Operation Monkey Spawn is having a meeting. Max and Luke are geared in their Satanist gear. Like last time, Hank is sitting on the couch next to Nick. Nick is oddly slumped over, depressed, and not very energetic.
So anyway, Shari, that docent chick, she thinks the Antichrist will rule from Versailles.
What's that?
It's a palace, dipshit.
It's where Marie Antoinette lived. And all those guys, I think.
Yeah, those guys.
Can you all just shut the fuck up about Versailles? You know, we're here for a reason. We're supposed to be taking down an evil anti-science monolith, not gossiping about docent girls.
We're sorry we have displeased the Dark Lord.
We beg your forgiveness.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Is everything okay, Nick? You seem a little off.
I'm fine. Just dandy. Now, let's get back on topic. What have you guys done to help bring down the center?
I wasn't able to get any more info, Your Majesty. I'm sorry. I tried my best.
I too have failed in my mission. However, I was able to steal $10 from the till.
That's it? All right, Hank. You're our last hope for this meeting. What were you able to sabotage?
About that. I was thinking maybe we don't have to take down the center.
What?
See, the thing is, I met this girl there, Josephine. She's really cool and...
Josephine? That snobby bitch has a stick so far up her ass she's choking on it.
Hey, don't talk about her like that.
Yeah, sorry, Hank. I gotta agree with Max on this one. Josephine's a super Christian. Like, she's probably a virgin who thinks about Jesus when she masturbates.
Dude, shut up.
So, Hank, what I'm hearing is you want to abandon the mission because you got a thing for some girl who works there?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that not everyone who works there is evil. Maybe there's another way.
Such as?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd have some ideas.
This is really disappointing, Hank.
Come on. It's not like this is some genius master plan that was going to change creationism. I mean, stealing little bits of money, planting science facts in the gift shop, petty vandalism, that is not how you change minds.
We're not trying to change minds. We're trying to destroy their platform so they can't recruit others into their insanity.
But that's just it. Maybe we can change minds.
They'd have to have minds first.
Yeah, dude, these are sheeple we're talking about.
Hank, once this is all over, I'll introduce you to a nice girl. A hot girl. One way better than this Josephine person.
Not what I want.
What do you want?
It sounds like he wants to betray us.
Permission to beat him, sir?
Shut up, you two. Get out!
You want us to leave, Your Majesty?
That's what I said. Now get the fuck out of my house.
Nick, what's the matter? You're not acting like yourself today.
There's nothing wrong.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
No. I'm going to bed.
It's 4 p.m.
Scene 4, Josephine's house.
He's letting me come over. My roommate's in a mood.
Yeah? Oh, what's wrong with him?
Not sure. He's just being super grumpy and weird.
Is he having some personal issues?
Thing, I don't know. If he did, I'd offer to help.
You're a good friend.
He's been a good friend to me.
That's nice. It's always good to have friends, especially when you don't have family.
Well, I have a mom, but we're not close.
Sad.
It's complicated. Let's just say I put her through a lot. Of course, she put me through a lot first, but I'm hoping to turn things around. I think if I can show her that I have this job and that I'm doing things right now, maybe we can start to fix our relationship.
I can't imagine what a kid could do to make his mom turn against him, especially not someone like you, who is so decent.
Well, I wasn't always so decent.
Really?
Yeah, I used to have some issues.
What kind of issues?
Sure you want to know all this?
Of course I do.
The thing is, I don't want you to think less of me, but I also want to be honest with you always.
I won't think less of you.
Okay, well, I used to be a drug addict. See? I shouldn't have said anything.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just surprised. What kind of drugs was it? Was it marijuana?
Afraid not. Heroin.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to act freaked out.
Okay, it was a bad time in my life, but I'm totally clean now thanks to my roommate.
Really? How did your roommate help?
He got me these experimental meds. They suppress a part of the brain that reacts to opiates. So no matter what I do, as long as I take my meds, I can't get high.
And that really works?
So far, so good.
You said it's experimental. How did your roommate get a hold of the drugs? Is he a pharmacist or a doctor or something?
No.
Well, how did he get them?
He has resources.
Oh my goodness. Was it some kind of black market deal? Did he steal them?
He didn't steal them. He bought them with money.
Wow, that must have been expensive.
Yeah.
What does he do for a living?
Well,
What?
about that.
What? Tell me.
Okay. You know how I said I wanted to be honest with you? Always?
Yes, it was 2 minutes ago.
Well, is it still honest if I just don't tell you things?
What is it you don't want to tell me? Just tell me.
Well, I'm not sure it's a good idea.
Why?
First of all, I don't think you would believe me.
Try me,
Second, if you believe me, you won't like it.
please. If I can handle that you used to be a heroin addict, I think I can handle whatever secret your roommate has.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, for crying out loud, Hank, just tell me.
Roommate's the devil.
What do you mean, the devil?
He's the devil, the literal devil.
I can see what you mean about me not believing you.
Don't believe me?
I don't know yet.
I didn't believe it at first either, but he proved it.
How?
Set a kid on fire.
Oh my goodness!
I know. It was pretty messed up, but he explained that the kid was actually evil, so.
So what? It's okay to set a kid on fire if he's a bad kid? What kind of messed up thinking is that?
It didn't seem so messed up at the time.
Is that all?
There are other things, like he does his projects where he tries to fight tyranny.
What kind of tyranny?
Like those 10 Commandment statues that used to be outside City Hall. He knocked them down. And the priest who just killed himself, he sort of orchestrated it.
He made a priest kill himself? That's horrible.
He was a bad priest. He molested little boys. But it was all so long ago that they couldn't arrest him. So I had to say he molested me, and he got arrested, and then he killed himself.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
No, I know how it sounds, but even though he's a devil, he's a really good guy.
Oh my goodness.
He is. He just has a different way of looking at the world.
You mean a satanic way?
Yes, but that's not the same as evil.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Look, Hank, I like you a lot. But if what you're saying is true, even part of it, I don't think we should spend any more time together.
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. You basically just told me you're a Satanist. Why would you even come work at a Christian place like the Center for Creation Studies if you're living with the devil?
Oh, about that.
What?
Me and Max and Luke are working there undercover to try to destroy it.
What?
I know, but listen. I talked to the guys last night, and I'm trying to get them to stop.
But why would you want to do such a horrible thing in the first place?
Places like the center are anti-science. They're not good for society.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing. This is too much, Hank.
It's a lot to dump on you all at once. I get that, but do I get points for honesty?
You get no points for anything.
It was supposed to be a joke.
I don't see anything funny here.
No, I guess not.
So is it you guys who vandalized the Jerry Falwell Memorial statue in the center's garden?
That was Max and Luke, but not me.
I think you should leave.
No, listen, I'm trying to fix things. I can talk to the guys again and make them change their minds. There's no reason why we have to get the center shut down. We can work together.
I think I can safely say on behalf of everyone at the Center for Creation Studies that none of us have any interest in working together with the devil.
Why? I mean, look, whatever you think about the devil, he's not as bad as you're led to believe. He's actually pretty cool.
Is that why you came here? To get away from him because he's so cool?
Okay, he's going through a bad patch, but normally, yeah, he's cool.
My boyfriend thinks the devil is cool.
I'm your boyfriend?
Get out.
Can we just talk about this a little more?
Get out of my house!
Scene 5, Nick's house. Hank is alone playing the violin.
Be quiet!
No, I live here too, and it's practice time.
It's my house still, and I told you to stop that music. I'm trying to sleep and wallow in silence.
And I said no, put your headphones on.
All right.
My God, he's such a bummer now. Mom? Hey.
You know, when you called me and told me about this Nick guy and how he got you a new job and how great he was and all that, I wanted to believe you. I really did. So I did some research. You know, you never were the best and brightest kid. In fact, more than often than not, I was ashamed of you. But this is something else.
What is this, Mom? Is it about the priest?
No, I did my research on him too. He really was a scumbag. I'm over it.
Okay, well, good. Then what is it?
Read it. Well, I'm not going to stand here all day while you try and read it. It's all about your friend.
Nick?
Yes, Nick. Otherwise known as Nicodemus the Great. Otherwise known as a freaking con artist who just got out of jail last year for conning people out of their money.
What?
Yeah. He had a scam set up saying he was setting up a charity and he was going to donate all the proceeds to eliminating the national debt.
That doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does. The guy's a scumbag, Hank. And the worst part, he's got no reason to do all this. He's a freaking spoiled rich kid.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Look where he grew up. It's all here in this expose. He's the son of that comedy magician, Colonzo the Great, the one who did all those movies. Grew up in this mansion out in Beverly Hills.
That's not possible. He's not.
It's not what?
He's not human, okay?
What the hell are you talking about?
He's the devil.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
No, I mean, he's the literal devil.
You must have lost your mind.
No, really, I saw him set a kid on fire.
Really?
Yes, really.
You mean like how Colonzo the Great did for his big finale?
What?
I guess you were too little to watch his show, but he would take a member of the audience and set him on fire. It was his thing, remember?
No, I don't.
Jesus, did you actually believe?
Stop!
Don't you speak to me like that.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I cannot believe this. You thought he was the devil.
I don't know what to think.
I guess I don't either.
Mom, can I have that magazine?
It's all yours.
Mom, what I said about him getting me a job and all that, that's true no matter what else.
Then I'm glad, really.
He's not a bad guy.
He does bad stuff. That's the same thing.
He does good stuff too.
Yeah, so does everybody.
What? I don't know what to do.
You better figure it out quick, because if the article's true, you're in for some hard times ahead if you don't get away from him.
Well, I don't have any money for him to steal, so.
I'm not talking about money.
What?
That kid's nuttier than a fruitcake. He's been in and out of mental hospitals since he was a teenager. Says so right there. He's got a bipolar or schizophrenia or some kind of combo of the two.
What?
Look, I'm not going to give you a whole book report on the article. Just read it and see for yourself.
Don't you see? If he's mentally ill, he's not responsible for his actions. If what you're saying is true, he's not a bad guy.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's not an evil person, but if you stick with him and let him make you do bad things, and what else does that say about you? I don't want you to get involved in any of his scams, Hank. That's all I'm trying to say. And it worries me that you were so easy to trick.
Worries me too.
Well, good. Then we're on the same page.
Mom, thanks for bringing me the article.
Don't mention it. No, I gotta get out of this place. The snakes creep me out.
Okay.
Hank leads her to the door. Impulsively, he hugs her.
Bye, Hank.
Hank sits on the couch, processing, reading the magazine. He's shocked and upset by what he's reading.
He stole over $1 million.
It's the teenage boy. He's not burned. In fact, he looks perfectly healthy.
Hi.
Hey, is Nick here?
I'm sorry, have we met? You look really familiar.
No, I don't think so. Can I talk to Nick?
He's not feeling well right now. Can I take a message?
Yeah. Tell him his assistant came by. He hasn't paid me for the last trick.
Rick?
Yeah, he does this street performances sometimes, and I'm his assistant.
Performances?
Yeah, like magic tricks and stuff.
And he pays you.
Yep, except not last time. That's why I'm here.
And these tricks, would one of them involve pretending to set you on fire?
I'm not supposed to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, anyway, can you tell him I stopped by?
You know what? I'll go get him right now.
Really? Thanks.
Nick! Your assistant is here!
Nick slowly emerges from his room. He's depressed and withdrawn looking. He's wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Nick looks at the teenage boy and at the place where Hank exited. Nick covers his face with his hands. Scene 5. The Rockford Center for Creation Studies. Jerry, the manager, is sitting at the desk writing stuff.
Gary, is this a good time?
Hank, what can I do for you?
Well, I've got something to tell you.
What is it?
It's about some of the guys who work here, Max and Luke.
Sit. Are you having some trouble with them?
Not exactly, but I think you should know that they're Satanists.
Well, that's a very serious charge, Hank. What makes you say that?
Because they are. They worship Satan.
It seems unlikely that.
Look.
Oh my goodness, is that?
Yes, it's them.
But, oh my, those pentagrams and the outfits. What is the cat for?
I don't think you want to know.
Oh my.
I felt you should know they aren't here because they believe in the mission. They're here to sabotage the place.
What? Why?
Because they're Satanists.
Indeed.
Did I do the right thing by telling you?
Of course you did, son. We can't have this sort of element entering this institution. This is a holy place, a godly place. Linda, can you send Max and Luke on in here? I need to speak with them.
I feel I should tell you that when I first started here, I wasn't here for the right reasons either.
What do you mean? Are you a Satanist too?
No, at least not like them, and not anymore. I've changed, and I see things differently now.
And what changed your mind?
There's this girl who works here, Josephine.
Oh, I get it.
No, it's not like that. I mean, it is, but she taught me that there's another way to live, a better way. Meeting her and her family, spending time with them, it's changed me.
Well, you'd hardly be the first kid to turn his life around for a girl.
I guess not.
How am I supposed to believe you when you say you've changed? How do I know you're being honest with me?
Don't. I guess I'm asking you to let me prove it to you. If you allow me to keep working here, I'll make sure to earn your trust.
All right, son. I'm choosing to trust you for now.
Max and Luke enter. They are dressed in comically conservative clothes, nothing like their usual satanic gear.
You boys care to explain this?
Did Hank show you this?
Never mind about Hank. Just tell me what this is.
It was a costume party.
I mean, it was a costume party.
No, it's okay. Let's do the Hail Satan thing. Might as well go out fierce.
Okay.
Hail Satan.
All right, I'll be going now.
As he walked towards the exit, Luke trips him. Hank falls. Luke stands over him and gives him a kick.
Hail Satan, asshole.
That's enough. Security, I'm gonna need you to escort 2 young men out of here.
No need. We'll see ourselves out.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't think they'd cause a scene.
There's never any telling what the devil will make you do.
No, there is not.
Jerry, is everything okay?
Yeah, Josephine, everything's okay.
It's just Max and Luke are drawing pentagrams on the walls. They just pushed over a statue of Jesus.
Oh, for crying out loud! Hey, you put that down right now!
So, what's going on?
I told Jerry that Max and Luke are Satanists. It didn't go well.
I see. So you ratted out on your buddies to save your own skin. Classy.
I ratted on myself too.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Because I don't want to live a lie. Because I meant what I said to you when I said I didn't want to sabotage anything. Because I think there has to be a better way.
Wow. What did Jerry say when you told him?
He agreed to trust me, to let me prove to him I've changed.
Why would he trust you?
Because he knows I have a good reason to want to change.
And what's that?
You?
Do you mean that?
Yes.
Because if you're a devil worshiper, that's a problem for me.
I'm not a devil worshiper. Especially since I found out he's not actually the devil.
What?
Yeah, apparently he's just a mentally unstable con artist.
That's unsettling.
Yes, it is.
How did you find this out?
My mom did some research. I guess he's the son of Colonzo the Great.
Oh, I love him. He's great.
Yeah, well, his son's crazy. He even did jail time for conning people out of their money.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to... I don't know. Can you break up with a friend?
I think you're going to have to.
It's weird. I mean, yeah, he's a con artist and probably crazy, but he really did help me. If it wasn't for him, I'd still be a homeless drug addict and I never would have met you.
But Hank, did he ever help you without wanting something in return? I mean, yes, he did some nice things for you, but he always wanted you to help him with something. That's not generosity. That's capitalism.
You know, you're right. That's actually a really good point.
Listen, Hank, if you're serious about wanting to leave all this Satanism stuff behind to change your life, maybe we could pick up where we left off.
Really? Because I'd love that.
Really.
I'm calling the police!
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan.
Do you you think we should go help?
Yeah, we probably should.
Scene 6. Nick's house. Nick is drinking whiskey, sitting on his couch. He's sloppily dressed, not doing well at all.
So, I met your assistant, and I read this magazine article, and it's all about you.
No, it's not.
Okay, except it is.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, then explain it to me.
Why?
Look, help me out here, Nick. I'm trying to understand. Why did you lie to me? Why did you trick me? I mean, you've done a lot for me, and I'm grateful. Don't think I'm not. But the devil stuff, it's weird, man. And I think maybe you need some help.
This magazine is a bunch of bullshit.
Then tell me what's not bullshit.
Yes. You were a homeless drug addict when I found you. I gave you a place to live, food to eat, and this is how you repay me?
And why did you do all that, Nick? Out of the goodness of your heart? No! You did it so I'd help you with your little schemes.
Little schemes? Is that how you see what we've been doing? Just little schemes?
Well, yeah, kinda. I mean, really, Nick, what's the point of all this stuff?
To make the world a better place, dipshit.
How have you made the world a better place, Nick? Really?
Everything I do makes the world a better place.
You lie. You're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
You told me you were the devil. You set up a whole elaborate scheme to get me to think that you set a kid on fire. Do you know how much that messed with me? My brain is already half rotten with drugs, and then you come along and mess it up more.
That wasn't an elaborate scheme. I am the devil.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're a spoiled rich kid with a famous dad and a serious mental disorder. That's who you are.
That's who the world wants me to be. That's not who I am. That doesn't encompass the totality of me.
There is such a thing as reality, Nick, and you need to start living there.
I do live there. It's you who's living a goddamn lie.
How am I living a lie?
You and this girl you talk about, your whole relationship is based on you working at this creationist center and being a Christian goody two-shoes asshole. But that's not you, Hank. And when she figures that out, your whole relationship is going to go to shit.
You're pathetic.
What?
You're pathetic. I confront you with all these lies you've been telling me, and all you can do is attack my relationship to try to get the focus off you. It's pathetic.
No, what's pathetic is you coming in here and trying to act like you have the moral high ground. I made you, you ungrateful asshole.
You didn't make me, you used me.
Used you? What the hell, Hank?
You used me for your own sick agenda. What was next, Nick? Were you gonna have me burn down a church or shoot up a Sunday school?
You know damn well that's not how the devil operates. I told you 1,000 times the devil is not evil.
You're not the devil!
Yes, I am!
You're not the devil! I'll pack my things.
Hank, I'm sorry I punched you, but listen, give me one more chance to prove to you that I am who I say I am.
My God!
No, really, one chance.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna summon snakes, like I told you I could.
Nick goes to the snake tank and stands next to it. He clutches his temples, concentrating.
It's not summoning snakes if they're right there.
Nick ignores Hank, making humming, meditative sounds. Eyes closed. Hank watches for a moment, but it's too sad, too pathetic. Nick continues to try to summon the snakes from their tank. He opens his eyes and sees that Hank is gone.
Damn it!
Scene 7. Hank and Josephine are going for a walk, holding hands.
So, where are you gonna stay?
My mom said I can stay with her for a little while until I get enough money saved up for an apartment. She made me take one of those over-the-counter drug tests, though.
And you passed, I take it?
Obviously.
And so, what's gonna happen to Nick?
I don't know. I guess he'll find someone else to help him with his crazy schemes. I hope he gets some help because that dude's seriously crazy.
Sounds like it.
But, you know, I'm glad it all happened.
Yeah?
Yeah. In his own crazy way, he saved me.
Like in the Bible, God sometimes uses flawed people to serve him. An imperfect vessel can achieve perfection with God's help.
That's a nice way to think of it.
2 men come on stage, holding hands. They nod and smile at Hank and Josephine. Good morning.
Morning.
You know, Jesus loves you.
Oh, thanks. You too.
I mean, he loves you in spite of your sins.
Yeah, thanks.
Ugh, that just makes me sick to my stomach.
What?
Those 2 deviants, holding hands, just out in public like that? Ugh.
What's it to you?
It's contributing to the moral decay of this world, Hank. That's what it is to me.
You're not hurting anybody.
They're hurting themselves, and they're hurting society, and they're hurting the baby Jesus heart. Morality isn't something you can pick and choose. It's what God says it is. We don't get to question him.
So you never question anything like that?
No, why would I? Remember what happened to Adam and Eve when they thought they knew better than God? That's what happens to us when we don't trust in his authority. And that's exactly what the devil wants. Enough about that, though. Let's not let those homos spoil our day. I'll race you to the car.
All right. Very good. Come on out and take a bow, guys. Fantastic. All right. So we have our playwright here, and we'll start off with the question. So is this the first time you had this play read? Or
Yes, it is.
It is. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a little bit of your impression.
I thought that, first of all, the acting, you guys all did a great job with it. Thank you for that. I think that there's probably places where I could cut back on the dialogue somewhat. Sometimes the scenes seem to go a little bit long, but overall, it was really helpful for me to hear it out loud. So thank you.
Yeah, and we talked about this extensively this week, as far as the valuable nature of a reading to a playwright and hearing the words for the first time. And I know I've done it where I've written stuff and it sounded great to me on paper and it sounded great to me on final draft and I have the voices talking to me, and then it doesn't sound so great when I actually have actors acting.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any questions or comments for the cast?
No, I thought you guys all did a really great job. I'm just really grateful for this. So yeah.
Okay. So if you wouldn't mind, if the cast has any questions for you, is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we'll open it up to the cast. This was a challenging piece because a lot of the questions that were raised. I mean, here's your chance to ask the playwright. This is rare and wonderful. You don't get to ask Moises Coffin about Laramie Project, and you certainly don't get to ask Henrik Gibson about Dollhouse. So here you go. Any questions?
What was the
To Jimmy?
what was the inspiration behind the play? Like, what motivated you to write it?
Well, honestly, I'm really kind of fascinated with the devil, and I feel like the devil is just like a really underexplored character in theater. And I just thought it would be really fun to write something provocative about the devil. So that's kind of what made me decide to do it.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So my interpretation of this play was that it was exploring like two different very extremes of the spectrum with Christianity and things like that. And I was wondering, like, what was it you wanted the audience to leave with? Like, was it just to start conversation? Was it to have like a takeaway message? Like, what was it you were trying to get across with it?
I wanted for sure a conversation starter. I wanted the type of play that people would talk about afterward and have strong opinions about. And so that was my goal. I've tried to put in as many, I don't know, conversation starters or controversial topics as I could and still keep it like within the plot.
Okay. Good. Any other questions?
One. So obviously there's a very dramatic switch when Hank is realizing that Nick is not actually the devil. Was the switch intended because of him getting off drugs? Was that intentional? Was that an intentional thing?
So I'm not sure I understand the question. So do you mean like
it's his snap back to reality? Is that what that was supposed to signify? Was him realizing that Nick is not actually the devil? Was that supposed to be coinciding with how Hank has been getting off of heroin?
Definitely that is a factor. Like he's a lot more clear-headed now, and so he's a lot more able to see the truth.
Okay, I really like that part. Sorry, I just
Fine. Any other questions? Any questions from the devil, or are you okay?
No, I'm good. I just thought it was really fascinating.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. It's just like a lot of things that I've never really thought of. And I've, I grew up religious and I'm not really in religion anymore. And I have a really complicated relationship with it. So to get to play a character like that, who's, if he does have those mental illnesses of like schizophrenia and all of that kind of stuff, like it was interesting. A character that uses the devil as a way to get out of that, like that's a whole different thing. So it was really interesting and definitely like opened up my eyes to a lot of questions that I didn't realize that I had, I guess. Made me think about things that I hadn't thought about before about it. So it was cool.
Good.
Yeah, thank you for that.
One thing I really enjoyed about this play in the text was how it's so gray. It wasn't like black and white, like this side is right and this side is wrong and you should listen to this side and not listen to that side. It was very like you think that Hank thinks he's doing the right thing by going with the devil, and then he thinks he's doing the right thing by going with the extremely Christian creationist family, but then he finds out at the end that they're not fully in the right either because they have a lot of hateful beliefs as well. So it leaves with like how does Hank come up with his own beliefs and stuff like that? And it's just like not black and white of like this is the right side, this is the wrong side.
And that was I think the main theme of the play from my perspective is that people need to be able to find their own moral compasses rather than just blindly following what someone else says is the morally correct thing to do, because that can lead you down bad paths. So
yeah,
Sounds good.
I liked that. And I think as a Christian, this like more solidified my faith, but identified with Hank in that you should ask questions and that you do need to back up things like that are important to you. So thank you.
I got another question.
Jimmy, you're question master tonight. Go ahead.
Who is your favorite character to write? And once you saw it being played out, who was your favorite character to watch?
My favorite character to write was Nick. I thought I loved writing him. I just loved that. I thought he was a very flamboyant, outspoken, bad boy kind of character. And I thought he was really fun to write. and fun to watch. Honestly, all of you did a really good job, and I had a lot of fun watching you. Josephine, you look exactly how I imagined the character. Like when I sat down and wrote it with like the pearls and the turtleneck and everything, I was like, that's Josephine right there. So that was kind of fun. It's like, she's alive.
I come from a very Catholic family, so I understood. I got the wavelength.
Yeah, and I can attest to it. I know her grandfather, so yeah.
Okay.
Was it interesting seeing it with gender bent casting and people playing the opposite gender and things like
It
that?
was. At first I was a little nervous about it. I was like, ooh, but I think it worked out pretty well, actually. I liked it. Yeah, it was a cool.
We have some very capable actors. So yeah.
Yes, for sure.
I think Tom said the same thing last week, where he was a little nervous and was okay once we finally got going. So yeah. Anything else?
So is for you guys reading the script, were there any parts that you felt like should be improved or fixed?
Anybody?
I do.
Norman?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I've been in the shadows for far too long. This is such a nitpicky thing, so take that with that idea.
Okay.
It's not a big deal, but it is something that confused me once you read it a couple times. Nick making the flowers disappear in scene 2 doesn't exactly make sense, because that could be a magic trick, but he's not really there, and it kind of confuses a lot of things. People can just say, oh, it's obviously just a magic trick, and like connect the dots, but it was something that, caught me a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. I need to make that a little more clear that it's like a magic trick.
Yeah, otherwise, when we got into, I think by the Wednesday night reading, we'd connected a lot of the dots, where we had read through it a couple times, and we're like, oh, we see where this is happening earlier. We see where this is set up earlier. We see where this is all going. And so it was really kind of interesting to proceed from that pattern of discrepant awareness. Because in the play analysis and stuff we do at Crafton, I teach these of David Ball's backwards and forwards. And so we try to read the last 10 pages last scene and then kind of work our way back. And so did absolutely seem to make sense from that.
Good.
I had just a little thing. When I was reading the part with the priest, I don't know, something about it feels unfinished. I don't know if there's because it just kind of happens so nonchalantly, where even though Hank keeps bringing it up, oh yeah, and then we got the priest and he killed himself and that kind of thing, but when Nick comes in, he's just kind of yeah, I brought ice cream. Guess why? Because the thing killed himself. I just feel like I don't know. I just felt like there was something missing.
Yeah.
Didn't completely round out the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Really fast, and there wasn't really a good because even though he still brings it up, it felt kind of unfinished.
Yeah. That's definitely rushed.
But I mean, other than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good clip. I mean, we ran under 2 hours with intermission. Which is pretty good. So it certainly keeps it going really well and has a good pace to it. So,
I mean, I'll say, I'm an atheist now. I grew up in a very, very religious family. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I've seen a lot of people use their religion as a vehicle for their hate, let's say. So a lot of it hit really close to home for me. And I was sort of uncomfortable reading it because, and I don't know that anybody else got the same feel, so maybe it's just me, but I get that it's supposed to be ambiguous, but it felt to me, especially at the end and, once everything was done, that it was really sort of saying, this side of Satan, with a woman's right to choose and science and basic health is evil and untrustworthy, versus this side of religion and blind trust and hate is the right side, and it's the side that Hank is supposed to choose. That's what it felt like to me.
Okay. I need to take
But
a look
again,
at
I mean,
that again because
everybody
that's
else
not.
thought it was ambiguous, so that might just be me.
Well, I definitely did. Anybody else feel that way? That I was.
I kind of felt it a little bit just with the last line of stage direction that you have written down. I think that's what kind of did it for me and what made me think like, okay, maybe. But him, because he chases Josephine off, I feel like that kind of tips it a little more towards the creationist is the better side to be on.
Okay. Okay, I need to take a look at that again then, because that wasn't the goal.
Yeah, because
Maybe it just closes while he's standing there.
Yeah, we
Well,
like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
having a blackout wall.
That way we don't know if he
Just have a
follows after
blackout
her.
with him on stage.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's a
that's
better
the-
ending.
yeah, that's kind of what I directed them to do, to have that ambiguity at the end where
Yeah, and that's an
Yeah, I
easy.
mean, that, like I said, it's most people got the right idea, I think, but it was just something that made me a little uneasy while I was reading,
I can see that.
and
Yeah.
that could just be from my personal background.
I think the script itself shows a really good balance because it shows the good parts about Satanism and then it shows the bad and then it shows the good of the creationists and then the bad of the creationists. I really like that because it's kind of just it's like a seesaw that you're kind of going on, and I think it really balances it out really well. I apologize, but
Hey,
I really like how it's
not
written
more
in that
not more
sense.
difficult than lasagna.
Oh, God.
Or seaweed.
It's a hard
First-
word to pronounce. Okay,
Yeah,
Look.
first 2 days we had difficulty with Italian food, so
kept saying lasagna.
I also, if I can, just one more thing, something that I just noticed in the script. Hank has a whole lot of like one word lines, and I feel like that just kind of puts a lot of, for lack of a better word, padding where it doesn't need to be there, where I
Mhm.
feel like the person can just keep on speaking instead of Hank having to say, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, of course. Only because it gets a little bit repetitive after a while.
Yeah.
Maybe just like a stage direction for Hank to nod or like something like that could work a
Right.
little. I felt like that too was a lot of choppy. I was like, how do I say yeah again? Like I don't know. It was a lot of one words for Hank.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had an idea in regards to the whole priest thing killing himself. I don't know
okay,
if
this is the last one, so you're gonna end it.
Okay, I don't know if this fixes the issue, but maybe it's Vera that reveals he killed himself rather than Nick.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually. I like
So
that.
that way it's like punches really hard when like Hank
Yeah,
when Vera goes over and reveals.
that's a good idea. Thank you.
All right. All right. So thank you. Thank you very much, Dana. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the live stream so we can meet just a minute as a class. But thank you so much for sitting in and listening. Thank you so much for doing talk back with us. Really, really appreciate everything you've done with this. And to everybody who tuned in, we will see you next week. And next week we have is Artistic Endeavor is next week. Endeavor before we get to all the fireworks and hot dogs and everything. So thank you very much, everyone.